Hello, Mr. Hardy here, and in this video I would like to teach you about the persuasive writing technique from the DAFOREST series called a fact. So for those of you who don't know, I teach my students in class a list of persuasive writing techniques using the acronym DAFOREST to make it easy to remember. We've done D, we've done A, we're moving on to F, which is fact. So what is a fact? Simply put, a fact is a statement that is true. You can prove it, you can test it, it's true. An example of a fact would be your heart pumps blood throughout your body. We can use science to test this fact and we know that it's true. Your heart pumps blood. Another example would be the Pacific Ocean is the largest body of water on Earth. We can use our geographical knowledge to test this statement and realise that it is true. So I guess the question becomes, why do we use facts in persuasive writing? Well, facts give credibility and believability to you and your argument. So you might be asked to write an article, a letter or speech. By presenting facts, you come across as an authority on the subject, a person of knowledge. You're more likely to have your listener or audience believe you and be persuaded and agree with your bias or your point of view on that topic. So let's see some facts in action. I've written an article all about the drink tea. As I read it to you, I want you to identify the facts I've used in this writing. Tea, the drink that changed the world. A cup of tea, one of Britain's favourite pastimes. But did you know that tea did not originate in this country? According to legend, Chinese Emperor Shen Nung discovered tea when the wind blew some leaves into his hot water. When tea finally arrived on British shores, it was only accessible to the elite, as it was an expensive product. So in the opening of my article, where are the facts? Where are the statements that we can prove? Well, it's the last couple of sentences. If you go online and you research the origin of tea, and you trace the stories far back as they go in history, you come across this story of Shen Nung, the Chinese emperor who discovered tea when the wind blew leaves into his hot water. Another fact that we can prove through history is that when tea arrived on British shores, it was only accessible to the elite. That's because the tea, the sugar, the equipment for making tea, all of that was quite expensive, and we can prove that through history, and we know it's a fact. So when I write my article about tea, by presenting some facts, I come across as knowledgeable. My readers or audience are likely to believe me, trust me. So when I put my slant on tea, whether it's good or bad, I'm more likely to persuade my audience or my reader to agree with my bias, my opinion. Okay, some tips. How can you use facts in your exam? Well, in the exam, you'll be asked to write across a variety of styles. You might be asked to write an article, a letter, a speech, and you'll be asked to write persuasively about a topic, and that topic could be anything. It could be cars, it could be space, it could be the environment. Now, the examiner is not expecting you to be an expert on this topic. If the examiner chooses the topic of cars, and it just so happens that you're a car fanatic and you know loads of facts about cars, then good for you, include them in your writing. However, if the examiner picks a topic of the environment and you know nothing about the environment, that's okay. You are allowed to make up facts. They're not testing your knowledge on the topic, they're testing your writing ability. So you can make up facts in the exam as long as they are believable. So how do you do this? Well, you use logic and you use your understanding of how the world works to create believable facts. For example, a few years ago, the examiners asked students to write about the topic of cars and their effect on people and the environment. So student A wrote that 1 in 10,000 deaths in the UK are caused by car accidents. Now, 1 death out of every 10,000 recorded deaths caused by a car accident, yeah, I can believe that. That sounds about right. Student B wrote 9 out of every 10 deaths are caused by car accidents. Now, when you use your logic and your understanding of the world, that really doesn't make sense. There's so many other things that cause death that surely 90% of deaths are not caused by car accidents. So the student who did the 1 in 1,000 fact, 1 in 10,000 fact, even though it was made up, that was more believable, more credible than the student who made up the 9 out of every 10 fact. So if you know real facts, use them in the exam. If you don't, you can make them up as long as they're believable. So let's do some fact practice. One task will ask you to research genuine facts and use them in your writing. This is great if you're doing a coursework or project-based essay or speech or presentation. The second task is going to ask you to not use the internet to make up a believable fact. This is great exam practice. So task 1 is to write the opening of an informative article introducing a topic of your choice. So your style of writing is article. You can pick any topic you like: cars, space, the environment, your favourite football team. Use the internet to research genuine facts about your topic and present it to me in a paragraph of persuasive writing. Your second task is to write the opening of a leaflet, so you're providing information, again, about another topic of your choice. So it could be anything from, heavy topics like the environment, like politics, to lighter topics like hobbies and music. But for this one, I don't want you to use the internet. I don't want you to research anything. I want you to make up a fact that supports your argument, that supports presenting you as an authority on this topic. And I want you to make sure your made-up fact is believable. Okay, if you found this video useful, please give it a like. Please subscribe to my Mr. Hardy YouTube channel for the rest of the DAFOREST persuasive writing technique videos, and feel free to leave a comment, perhaps with one of your made-up facts, so I can check and see if it's believable or not. Well, thank you for your attention, and I'll see you on the next one.